An integration of excerpts from the book Women Who Run with the Wolves by Clarissa Pinkola is this. Wild woman as an archetype is an inimitable and ineffable force which carries a bounty of ideas, images, and particularities for humankind. If a woman does not look into the issues of her own deadness and murder, she remains obedient to the dictates of the predator. Once she opens up the room in the sight that shows how dead, how slaughtered she is, she sees how various parts of her feminine nature and her instinctual psyche have been killed off and died a lowly death behind a facade of wealth. Now that she sees this, now that she registers how captured she is and how much psychic life is at stake, now she can assert herself in an even more powerful manner. The deepest work is usually the darkest. So do not be afraid to investigate the worst. It only guarantees increase of soul power through fresh insights and opportunities for revisioning one's life and self anew. The blood represents a decimation of the deepest and most soulful aspects of one's creative life. In this state, a woman loses her energy to create, whether it be solutions to mundane matters in her life such as school, family, friendships, or her concerns with compelling issues in a larger world, where it continues over weeks and months of time. She seems flattened out, filled with ideas perhaps, but deeply anemic and more unable to act upon them. A woman may try to hide from the devastations of her life, but the bleeding, the loss of life's energy, will continue until she recognizes the predator for what it is and contains it.
Life is not problematical. We make it problematical because we're all listening to something, to someone else, to something, without listening to ourselves. We buy a lot of junk, for instance, that we know damn well we don't need. We clutter up our lives with insignificant things that have no value at all. But when we start to think about how simple life is and how simple it should be lived, then we begin to realize, I have no problem. I don't have a real problem. Problem is something you make. Life is something you live.
A wise woman keeps her psychic environment cluttered. She accomplishes this by keeping a clear head, keeping a clear place for her work, working at completing her ideas and projects. The stronger and more integrally vast the animus, the more able, easily, and with style the woman manifests her ideas and her creative work in the outer world in a concrete way. A woman with a poorly developed animus has lots of ideas and thoughts, but is unable to manifest them in the outer world. She always stops short of the organization or implementation of her wonderful images, making the best relationship one can with the worst parts of oneself, letting the pressure build between who one is taught to be and who one really is. Ultimately working toward letting the old self die and the new intuitive self be born. In this stage of initiation, a woman is harassed by the petty demands of her psyche, which exhort her to comply with whatever anyone wishes. To watch something is a timeless purification ritual. If a woman holds on to this gift of being old while she is young and young while she is old, she will always know what comes next. Each woman has potential access to Rio Abajo Rio, this river beneath the river. She arrives there through deep meditation, dance, writing, painting, prayer making, singing, drumming, active imagination, or any activity which requires an intense altered consciousness. This is our meditation practice as women, calling back the dead and dismembered aspects of ourselves, calling back the dead and dismembered aspects of life itself. Our work is to apprehend the timing of both, to allow what must die to die, and what must live to live. Taking on the task of being on one's own, developing one's own consciousness about danger, intrigue, politic, becoming alert by oneself for oneself, letting die what must die. As the too good mother dies, the new woman is born.
Day to you. Happy birthday, dear Naya. Happy birthday to you.
And many more.
Many more blessings, more life.
Yes,
Yes,
more life. My pleasure. Happy birthday.
Appreciate you.